This is The Sweet Spot, a creative and marketing quest.
Thank you to everybody for turning up to the Redfern Media and Media Village collaboration for our first ever podcast called The Sweet Spot, a creative and marketing quest.
Awesome.
So the creative and marketing quest is for creative professionals, directors, agency owners, whatever that might be, marketing, creative, to find their quest through their career and just discuss pain points, challenges, whatever that might be, to find that sweet spot in whatever quest they're on. So, yeah, without further ado, if we do a round robin table. So I'm Sean Redfern.
Harrison Hunt.
Nathan Littler.
Alex Heaney.
So, yeah, I'm Sean Redfern. I'm MD at Redfern Media, and my creative and marketing quest is to find the sweet spot between that client-agency relationship. That's what I'm delving into over the next few weeks. So what about you guys?
So I'm a junior designer, recently graduated university, my first year at Media Village. So I'm just like on a personal journey, I feel, defining myself as a designer, what doesn't work, what are my strengths and weaknesses, and just finding that personal sweet spot, I guess, forever developing my personal skills and, getting to that next level, I guess. So,
Yeah. There you, Nathan.
So I'm Nathan. I'm the creative manager at Media Village. I've been at Media Village for the last 6 years since graduating university. And my quest is to find the sweet spot in development and progressing, and just keep exploring my learning in a mission on solving business problems creatively. So
from a personal perspective or from a business one as well?
Bit of both.
Yeah.
Because I'm always looking to improve myself, but obviously always looking to improve the business. But now I'm a creative manager, it's also about improving the team that I've got around me. So we've got quite a young team, and Harrison's obviously been with us in his first year. We've lost 2 senior designers and replaced them with juniors. So it's all about finding the sweet spot of how to get them progressing and developing at the same time as myself continue to progress and get the business to progress as well. So
creating an agency culture.
Yeah, absolutely. And collaborating and all that.
So Alex?
I'm Alex. I'm creative director at Redfern Media. My quest is to actively make that transition from doing the work to more managing the work and being in charge of the creative output, and just managing the team, how to get the best out of the team, and probably most importantly now is the relationship with clients, how to nurture that relationship, and how to make our clients partners, long-time partners to help Redfern grow. And I suppose it's wearing multiple hats. I think that's for all of us as well, isn't it?
I was interested in the one about rather than doing the work, being able to create it and dictate what other people put out. That's something that I need to look at as well, and kind of let it go a little bit rather than micromanaging it or
give people responsibility and let them run with it.
Yeah, because you can stifle creativity, can't you, if you try and manage.
I identified last week that I'm a bottleneck in this business.
Yeah.
I am. I need people who've got ideas and they just need to run with it instead of waiting for Sean to say
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's, definitely. So that's your quest?
That's my quest.
It's your quest. So I suppose, do we pick on one quest now and just like touch on it or what? I think your quest is the best one.
My quest?
Yeah, for today anyway. Mine might be better next week.
Well, so to reiterate, my quest is I describe what I do as solving business problems creatively. So everyone asks, what do you do? What's your business? And to me, it's solving business problems creatively. So we work with external marketing agencies or external businesses to help them solve whatever problem it may be. So there's various avenues that we can explore in that: work-life balance, client relationships, getting projects that's at the next level, so stepping up in talent, looking at team growth. But maybe a good place to start is perfecting our creative process.
Yeah.
So to help businesses solve their creative problems creatively.
Yeah.
No matter what it may be, although each project will have a different end goal, which will be specific to the customer.
Yeah.
We can learn our own creative process that we can apply to every single problem that we solve, which will hopefully help us get there faster and better in future.
See, I'm interested because when we're solving problems with a website, there's a technical side to it all and a user flaw. But when it comes to solving a problem for a client that's design, how do you do it?
Yeah, well, it can be, obviously, you can get a logo project, so they may have a specific brand new customer that's just a startup, and they may just need a generic logo and it needs to hit a certain target audience and they're going to appeal to this kind of people. But then it may already be a business that exists. Been working on one today actually where we've created a couple of logos and now they all need to somehow be more in line with each other, so that to the end user it just looks like they've had a little bit of a refresh, but they can all live under the same umbrella.
I think design by definition is that you're designing by a set of principles or a set of goals for that project. So whether it's the logo to resonate with a target audience or whether it's a logo to convey trust and credibility, so I think a part of the process that we go through definitely is to define them goals right at the start and always have your eye on them goals at every point, because then you can get to a finish point and say, right, this does achieve the goals that have been set, rather than I'm not too keen on how this looks, let's change it. And
well, it's all about us asking the right questions as well, like always asking why. And a customer will always tell you, right, I want this, but that's not necessarily the right answer. So it's up to us to show them what is the right answer. So they may go, right, I want this, but then you need to step back and say, right, you want this, but why do you want this? What is your problem? So you're always going to get to the same end goal and solve their problem. Like, right, this is where you want to get to, but you think we should do it this way, but what about doing it this way? And that's like, I guess why they pay us the money and like welcome to
I think
for the expertise. And
when you get to that point, you're moving into the consultancy part of it, and that's where a lot of value is added to say, you're telling me you want this. Why do you want this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like me and you were speaking about this like last Wednesday. Like, we want to be like more involved, like on the customer journey and stuff. Like Nathan said, like they always come to us and say, we want a 5-page, this and that. We want this digital thing. And like Nathan said, it's like, why? And it's like, that's what we want to be involved in more rather than them already deciding that's how they're going to get to that end goal. Like, give us that chance to sort of like get involved in it. And then, we can see it from a different perspective of a designer and go from there.
9 times out of 10, a customer's going to come to you and they're going to go, I want to get employees engaged by whatever. I want a double-sided A5 leaflet, and you're like, that's shit. That's not going to engage anyone. But that's all they know. So it's up to you to show them further possibilities of stuff that's up here, because they're always going to come to you with stuff that's on the same level. So you're never progressing individually or as a business if all you're ever doing is the same leaflets.
We always use the term, or I've started using the term as like my not sales, but like educational process for a client is you self-diagnose yourself as needing this. But why? And how have you got to that diagnosis? And then you pull it right back and say, well, really, you don't need that.
You don't need this. You need to, if you look at,
I think most clients come with a vision they've got in their own head of what they need to do, or something a competitor's done to say, I want something similar to this. I suppose it's getting down to the roots of what that is, what's the goal.
That's the challenge as well. Some like changing a customer's mind or make a lot of the people that we work with, and to be honest, it tends to be people that are in marketing roles in bigger companies seem to be a bit more relaxed and let you just sort of run with it and experiment. But if you're
we experienced that at Redfern as well.
With smaller businesses who are maybe more attached to like who they are, like a smaller startup, they'll be more
bigger
precious of it, and they won't let you have
I know it's cliche, but it's like the whole teach old dogs new tricks kind of thing. And like a lot of companies that we get involved with, they're very like precious of stuff, and they won't let go, even though it's like not necessary. It's like if you're like doing a redesign of a logo, it's like I need that in there. And it's like, you really don't.
No.
Like, it doesn't define your brand at all.
No.
It's just you like that shape or that colour. And it's like kind of stripping it back and them putting the trust in us a little bit more. Because, you know, I think that's what they should pay us for is our experience and our know-how. And it's like pushing it through to the next level because that's all they know. And they know it kind of works, but they don't know what that is yet. You know what I mean? So it's like trying to break through that barrier.
So how have you, like, because the Media Village
has
transformed like massively over the last couple of years. So have you initiated all that into what you do then? And
we're very much obviously from a print background, and when I started 6 years ago, the type of projects we were getting were mainly like print orientated with a bit of design capabilities. But now it's very much the flip side, and that's what I'm trying to champion and keep pushing more. And now it's like we're a creative agency, or we have very brilliant
creative agency first, print second, isn't it?
But we also have the added bonus of in-house being able to produce everything, so we can quality control your brand right from logo to brand development and style, pick your brand colours and say, right, this is how we're going to roll it out into a brochure or like a sales pack or something a little bit different that maybe they've not thought of, and we can do sort of exhibition signage and wide font so we can have the complete scope. And it's not passed through third parties, so what you usually get is someone to design it, but then someone else will take the brand guidelines and design it this way and how they want to do it, and it'll be passed to a printers and it'll come out looking one thing, and then someone else will print something else, and the colours will be completely off. So it just eradicates that.
I think an interesting point is, so for Redfern, so selling from this sort of angle as consultancy first, and this is everything we can offer you. Sean's leading that. Well, me and Sean are leading that. So, you know, during the nurturing process of winning a new client, it's like it's from the off. How do you feel the sales reps manage that process? Are they on board with this process you're trying to sell, or do they still go into a client thinking, I'm going to sell you a quick logo?
No, it's very much the latter, I think, at the minute. But we're trying to. That's what we've been trying to. We've like been developing our brands now, and we've got to this point. So the next sort of step is taking it to the next level. Because at the minute, our brand, I think, still reflects that sort, and the way that we do things with the account managers still reflects the kind of older like print side of like selling. So we need to kind of look at that and update it, and we kind of get into that in the studio and the creative bit, but it's just sort of looking at the brand overall, and creating these new sort of sales channels and the way that we want to do things to get there and get us to that level.
That's a good question.
Well, does thought, because we lead that for us, but that's the first point of contact from us.
We're trying to like redefine everything, you know, like a new ethos and stuff, and it's in that transition at the moment. You know, we've started to introduce tiers to logos now, whereas before it was like a logo generic sort of thing. Now we've like introduced these like tiers, where it'd like, you know, it'd be a base package and it'd just be like, you know, a few concepts, and then like the mid package where it's like how it can transition onto deliverables, and then it's not, you know, the third package, and it's just like completely like you're with us, we'll define everything sort of thing. So I think it's trying to.
There's always going to be that need to just, someone will just want a logo and this is what I want, and I guess it's not good practice to just say, right, you're not necessarily for us, but in some instances that may have to be the case, but you're always going to get the ones, I just want a logo design. There's pretty much what needs to happen. So you put a bit of creative process in, but it's not as extensive as like, right, this is my business, this is my end goal, get me there. And then you've got the freedom to do the whole creative process and experiment with different things.
Is that the Steve Jobs guy that designed the Next logo? Have you heard that story? No. So he got paid over 100 grand for one logo. And his brief was to design a logo, and he said, and he went back to Steve Jobs and he said, I'm literally going to design you one logo, and that's it, and you'll accept it. And he did, and he got paid 100 grand for it.
Wow. That's amazing.
But he had the reputation to do it, you know what I mean?
It's that it all just becomes with building your knowledge and reputation, and saying these are brands that we've done, and you just trusting us, kind of thing. And everyone tries to be different. Even I tried to be different. Like I was trying to I'm going to make Media Village into this, but that's not true to who we actually are.
No.
Or true to what people trust in. So people trust brands that look a certain way. And all the top ones look a certain way. They do these case studies. This is what we're about. And it's just like in plain sight. This is what we do. This is what we charge. And we're bloody damn good at it. And that's why we do it. And we'll always get you to that end result. So just trust us. So
5%.
I think that boils back down to defining goals and objectives of a creative project. And again, I think going through my time at Redfern, it was coming on as a designer and a developer.
I had to give you a few lessons at start, didn't I?
Yeah, I think the biggest one were you're not designing for yourself, you're designing for the client, which were as soon as you come and start as a graphic designer, you design everything as I think that looks nice, so I think that'll pass.
The Padawan has become the Jedi.
But I think it's evolving through to understanding business and how business works. You have to have that understanding and awareness.
Definitely.
So, well, when I first started in industry, I was just getting not the big creative projects that we're having now. It was more just your leaflets and the smaller like business stationery, that kind of stuff. But for me to just do that, even now, just to go pick up just a simple dual-sided A5, blows my mind compared to if I was to have a project of right, I've got this brand, this is what it needs to do. I would create a full brand, brand guidelines, say, right, your business needs to do this, but then give me a dual-sided A5, and we need to jam all this side of A3 onto an A5. I'm like,
that's not.
It still blows my mind now, so it's not. So I guess it's just finding them specialities in the project, isn't it? So what's your take on a creative process then from a digital side?
Redfern.
Yeah, because that's going to be very different from the way that we approach it. So would you approach every client pretty much the same because it's going to be the same end result? Or
I think a lot of the time when we start projects, a brand comes with it, so they've already got the logos, they've already got the brand defined.
Yeah, the Bright one is the best example, isn't it?
Yeah, so they worked with another.
They had a branding consultant in Australia, didn't they? So it was an Australian branding consultant with a company in Brighton and us up here in the Northwest developing their website, weren't it? So
I suppose most of our creativeness comes out of usability and making sure websites work on. It's usable, it converts. It does what it needs to do.
No, I think the user journey is the biggest part of any front end website now. That was very broad, wasn't it? But the thing that you did with Bright when you designed those wireframes, so we designed what we class as high fidelity wireframes, which were just grayscale layouts, but they were that good that it turned into design, didn't it?
Yeah, I suppose it's a similar process to doing a logo in black and white first.
Definitely.
Making sure it works, and then
100%.
It does. I think with the Asset Bank project, I struggled because we did 40-page templates in high fidelity wireframes, and then the time taken to move them into a full design.
Might as well have done.
Mentally, I'm looking at the screen thinking, this is just a wireframe with some colour laid on top. So I was battling with myself for so long thinking, I need to change this or I need to change that. But I suppose that's just within yourself, isn't it, to make sure that you're pretty much there with design and layout and functionality and where all call to actions are and things. And then
do you guys have a questionnaire that you give to customers now or not?
Yeah, we depending on what it is we sell, we've got a brand questionnaire and various different bits for different aspects of where it's brochure or but specifically brand, especially if it's new brand of what they're looking for, what the business is, competitors and all that kind of stuff, because we'll do our research beforehand and say, right, these are your competitors, this is what they're doing, this is where you should be going to match what they're doing, but also this is going to make you stand out a little bit from them. And then it goes beyond just creating the logo, though. It's starting to think of, right, how can this visually expand onto bits and pieces of collateral,
Mm-hmm.
and it's sort of coming up with sort of the wording and like the whole sort of messaging and concept behind it, and that's where when everything links back to the logo, it becomes strongest. So to give an example, I've been helping a guy called Lewis at the Blurred Line develop it's a mental health charity.
Right.
Well, not a charity as such, but he fundraises and helps other mental health charity receive funds. And it's called the Blurred Line. A mental health, everything with mental health is a bit like you can't see it as much. There is a blurred line with mental health. Yeah. So the idea is to give it clarity.
Right.
So all the branding is just bright, big, and bold in your face, and everything you need to do within the brand, like the ethos, is make it bold, make it stand out, make it be visible. In that sense, because mental health is very much the opposite. So that helped when it come to creating the logo. I knew exactly what I needed to do. Creating like the collateral, it just needs to be bold, bright, and in your face whilst looking nice. Just make sure that it can't be missed. So
I'm going to say that Anemia Manifesto. Our good project, because that might lend itself all the way across print to web and everything. And Harrison won that competition, didn't he?
No, it's good. It's good when a client's really on board with the ethos behind the brand, because that lends itself really well to then creating stuff. Because that brand, from my point, it's energetic. It's kind of following on from what you said with the the ironic that you can't see, but then you can see kind of thing. That was the standpoint I took with Anemia community. It's kind of you're lacking in iron. You're the opposite of energetic kind of thing. That was the whole. It was like a safe haven I kind of wanted to create with the whole movement in the colour.
Energy into the brand.
Exactly,
to give people with anemia a bit more energy.
Exactly, and like this, that sort of like that group where you could, you want to join, you want to be a part of, sort of thing, But going back to that questionnaire, it's brilliant when a client does get involved, because it lends itself really easy. Whereas on the latter of that, where people, they want a logo and they don't have it, I want this, and it's like, where do I start, kind of thing. So then you kind of look at what kind of looks good rather than what works. So then it's up to yourself to kind of define that for them. So it's a bit.
So I'm just thinking like,
so Redfern need a new website, so we need to develop our new website. As soon as we jumped into that process, then we started questioning the brand. I think our biggest struggle is, it's a self-titled name, just Redfern. So there's nothing behind it. There's no blurred lines and clarity. That sort of. If you get I think the beauty of the blurred lines one is, now you say it, it's so obvious. But the value is in coming up with that idea.
Cool. Definitely.
But with Redfern, I think we just struggled to. I think it's for like a self-titled for ourselves. It sort of has to be either along with the trends to say this is in trend at the moment, so this is the next iteration of the Redfern logo, or it has to relate back to.
Well, they say that branding yourself is the hardest apparently, isn't it? It's better to outsource your own branding because you're too attached to it. But we're finding out with Media Village as well. Like, we're looking to develop our brand a little bit and just tidy it up and make it a bit cleaner and neater to reflect the direction that we want to go as a business. But as you say, you don't know like where do you start. It's just
too close.
There's no like concept in the name itself. It's just a name. Media Village started because we had like a collective of companies, so it became a little Media Village almost. But they're kind of very much in the background now. So
I'm going to say, like, for these podcasts, is because your question, you've had your question at the start for your quest, so maybe we should have tips that we have ourselves to give you to find your way through that quest. So what was the question again? Or the quest?
First quest we started on was what was it? Oh, the creative process, and finding your own creative process so you can understand any customer journey.
Right.
So you can approach whether someone comes in with a new brand project, whether it's just a leaflet they need or some signage, you can always approach it the same, go in and say, right, what's your problem? What's your end goal? Where do you need to get to? And why do you want to get there? And then this is how I'm going to approach it to ensure that we achieve that. And then you can just be thrown into any meeting and
Yeah.
you're already prepared with this pre-knowledge of, right, this is my creative
Yeah.
process.
Yeah.
This is how I'm going to approach it, and we'll get
Yeah.
to the end point.
So from that, and my 24 years of wisdom in creativity and marketing, it's all about discovery, isn't it? Qualification of that brand and what it stands for, and what the client, what the clients, not the client, but what your customers are expecting.
Yeah.
So,
And they touched on it then, just understanding the problems. The first step, isn't it?
Asking the right questions.
That's the hardest. Is asking the right
and
questions.
We always say that we see ourselves as an extension of someone's brand. So I think it's great because I don't just work for Media Village. I work for Boots Hearing Care or
that's good,
if we do them, or Stonyhurst or Westholme, or Saffron. Because in that moment when you're being part of that brand, you become part of their marketing team. You have to really understand their brand, what they're trying to achieve, how they're trying to get their employees engaged. So that's what I like about it. Nothing ever becomes stale or boring because you're always from one to another, and there's so many different variations of media.
So that is 27 minutes. Goes fast, doesn't it?
That's gone quite fast, actually.
So I don't know if we, so we'll have the next one next week, and then I think as we tighten the whole process up, we'll delve into someone else's quest a little bit deeper and just discuss it even more and stuff like that. So
cool,
sweet. Are you guys all right with all that?
Yeah, spot on. Awesome.
I think that went really well for a first
it was
one.
all right.
To be fair,
we didn't go off in tangents.
No,
to be fair,
Creative